I'm not doing the hottest mentally today, so I thought we just play with some new makeup, and I got the Lord of the Rings and Glamlite collection. This is the Middle Earth palette. I will say, packaging, it's really pretty. Like this box, you open it up, and there's this palette in here, and I'm very, very excited. I say as I drop the palette on the ground. I'm just in a t-shirt today. It is what it is, but I gotta say, really beautiful. It's one of the few palettes as of late that hasn't had that like lenticular motion thing, but I really, really, really love it. It's got the map going on. Ooh, let me get rid of the plastic, and I'm kind of into the color story. So this is what the color story looks like, and I think it looks pretty cute. So I thought we'd do something fun today. This is actually the second to last day I'm filming before I am leaving for my group trip to Greece, and I have been working a lot, fixing a lot, and I just needed to sit down and just play a little bit and just do a casual video. My husband was asking me how I was doing today, and I said, not great. And he's like, is there anything I can do? And I was like, do you know what? I would really love some chocolate. So he got me some chocolate. He went to 7-Eleven. He got me Milk Duds. He got me, ooh, Snickers Butterscotch Scoop. Never seen that before. He also got me M&M with peanut butter. I really love those. I love these. Almond Joy. And he got me a normal Snickers. I think this one he got from himself because I know he really likes those. But yeah, if you didn't know, my husband is the best person in the world. So he tried to cheer me up with some candy. And I think we're gonna take a Milk Dud. I have been getting some pretty questionable comments every time I talk about, especially as of late. Oh my god, I love these. Especially as of late, every time I mention that I'm not doing so great, people have these predetermined notions of how someone should behave when they're not doing good mentally. I think someone is hacking my card again. I will say, card safety in the US, not great. I've gotten the money back every time, but I've had my card like swiped or hacked or like stolen digitally at least 6 times since I moved to the US, and it has never happened to me in Sweden. So I don't know what's going on, but it's not great. I don't know what's going on, but it is definitely not great. So somebody is trying to use my card at a Walmart Supercenter in Raleigh. Please don't. I'm also using Merit, the uniform. This one, I've actually tried this one before. I got this one sent to me. This one is in the shade, is it 22? Not 100% sure. This could be in shade 22. I'm not 100% sure. But I have used this one before, and I can give you like a quick, what do I think about this one? This one feels like a tinted moisturizer on my skin. It doesn't 100% dry down, but when I set it with a very thin layer of powder over my skin, it does like not break up on me and actually holds up on my skin really good. And I have oily combo skin throughout the entire day. So I gotta say, I think this one is really good. With that being said, I am not using enough for it to be, this is a broad spectrum SPF 45. And I know that I'm not using enough for it to be 45. So if you want the 45, you do need to use this. Probably you need to use more than I'm using right now. And you also might, or you might need to use it together with another sunscreen. But I am just sitting to do my makeup and to have a little fun because it is literally, I think it's like, yeah, it's like 6 o'clock in the afternoon or in the evening or whatever we are going to call that. So I am definitely not going to be in the sun anymore today because the sun is about to go down. I was just not feeling in the right headspace to sit down and like read or anything like that. So I thought, you know what? Why don't I play with that new Glamlite palette and we can just do a half chatty get ready with me, trying some of the new makeup that I have gotten because I have some other things to try as well. And then I have another item that I have been trying for a couple of days that I actually really enjoy. I don't like talking about grief. I did mention it recently on my channel that I was dealing a little bit with grief, and I know some people it really helps to talk things through online. I think a lot of people online forget that not everybody grieves the same way as you do, and even if you say, oh, it's really good to talk something through, just because I'm not talking it through with you doesn't mean that I'm not talking it through with like my husband, my mom, my best friends. Like, it doesn't mean that I'm not talking about it. Oh my god, I can see a hair. It just means that I am not ready to talk about it in public, because that's what it is. I am talking about stuff here like in public, and now for a lot of people it helps to like, you know, go through your thoughts and kind of like, you know, just make up your mind about stuff, and like you go through them and like deal with it as you talk about it. Me, not so much. For me, that's like my worst nightmare, having to talk about my feelings or having to talk about grief while I'm still processing it myself. I can talk about, like nowadays, I can talk about the grief of losing my dad. I can talk about the grief of losing my grandmother, but while I'm still processing, I don't want to have to process in public. I know for some people that helps, not for me. That makes me feel incredibly uncomfortable. But I do know that in Sweden we have a saying that's like, if you say A, you have to say B. And I think sometimes online, if you do say you're grieving, you kind of do have to give a little bit more information. And this is the only time I will talk about this. Please do not DM and ask me about more information. I know sometimes people do that, but please, I'm begging of you, I don't want to talk about it while I'm still processing it myself. But me and my husband, we lost our cat. And to say that I am not dealing with it so well is an understatement. We've had her for so long. She was literally the best cat ever, and I miss her. I miss her so much. She was part of family. She was part of my morning routine, and I just wish that I could have had more time with her. And yeah, that's about that. Now people are calling me again. Card will now be blocked. I am really having one of these days, okay? Great. Card blocked. I'm leaving the country in 2 days. I love this for me. And that is that. We are moving on to something else. And you know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about how much I'm enjoying the new NYX the Brow Glue. I really like this. It has this really cute little applicator. I don't know if you can see anything. So you kind of squeeze and it comes out. And then you just kind of brush it in and it kind of works. I mean, I am like a little bit impressed. I bought this from the NYX website, which is crazy because like when you pay for like the shipping and the taxes and everything, it's like a $20. I'm not smart like that, okay? But it's at least really good. So if you see this in a drugstore, if you see it at Ulta, I mean, it's pretty good and it dries down pretty fast and it keeps my brow hairs up all day. I've been using this now for almost a week. I'm pretty impressed. So I also got this one. I thought, while in Rome, while wallowing in self-pity, let's do the Makeup Forever sticks. So funny story. I went to Sephora and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try out which shade I want. And I put it in my wish list and I was like, next time I make an order from Sephora, I'm gonna buy the sticks that I want. And then they sent me this package. Unfortunately, none of the shades that I picked up for myself is here. So if I really end up loving this, and if this is like a great formula for me, how do I get this one out? That's not... I need a cap. How do I get this one out? Oh, there we go. If I end up loving this formula, oh, this is a dark bronzy one. Maybe not this one. This one is in Glorious Bronze, which, to be fair, this is a Glorious Bronze. I'll just buy the shades that I had picked out for me if I feel like this is a good a good one for me. Let me see. Oh my gosh. Let me just put these out of the packaging so we can see which ones which ones I should use. These are so stuck in here. I need an extraction team. This was in Starfire Gold. I mean, the other one is clearly too dark for me. We'll try this one, I think. And I have blushing pink. Ooh, this is like the... What do you know? Okay. We'll do this one. Perfect. So this is the other blush. This is also pretty, but it's a little bit dark. And then we have Endless Cacao. That is definitely not the shade for me. Beautiful shade though, not for me. And Swanky Mauve. Wait, I mean, it's a little dark, but that is a swanky. Love that. Might even steal that for a future product. Love it. Okay, so we have Anywhere Caffeine, which I think will be a little dark. I think I could probably maybe use this as like a, like almost like a bronzer, like a blush and bronzer. This is very light. What shade is this? This is Ambient Dune. Should we try this one? I mean, this is clearly too light for me. Should I do the bronzy one? I don't know what I'm doing. We're gonna do this one, and I'm just gonna... Okay. It's gonna be very light contour today. It is barely darker than my skin tone, but maybe I'll do some bronzer on top. I mean, give me another day in the sun, and this is a foundation stick for me. It does bring a little bit. It does bring a little bit, but this is... this smells nice. Not strong, just very faintly of a candy from my childhood, which is nice. Okay, you can definitely see a difference. No, you can't, because I'm literally too high up. You can definitely see a difference in my, like, on my forehead. So I do think that this will actually work as a light bronze. Maybe I won't add anything else on top. Maybe this will just be a light contour that is perfect for today, especially since, like I said, I just wanted to sit down and have fun. I am clearly not doing anything today. I'm just here wallowing in my own pity. Makes no sense. I'm just gonna be eating candy, maybe start a new book. So it doesn't matter that much. And honestly, that does do a little bit. You know what? I'm gonna keep this one. This will probably be a really good shade. I'm thinking this is probably very similar to that favorite shade from Rare Beauty that I love using when I don't have a tan. These are multi-use sticks, but on some of them it says not appropriate on the eyes, not appropriate on the lips. So make sure to check, because they do have more colors online, way more colors online. So make sure to check if you are very worried about those kind of things, that you're getting something that's correct for you. Let's do the one that's something blushing pink. Because again, I'm just trying to have a little bit of fun today, not taking it too seriously. I did go and see Lilo and Stitch yesterday, because again, I've been needing like things to take my mind off things, and that movie was perfect for that. It was so cute, it was so wonderful. And I also finished my book, which is Shield of Sparrows. I put it up on my Instagram, and I basically said, whatever you have on your TBR right now, screw that. You're not reading that anymore. You're reading Shield of Sparrows. I will leave it in the description box. You should really check it out. I will say, if you have the same reading taste as me, you like it. If you don't like romantasy, you won't like it. It is like more plot driven, I would say. And what I really like about the book is that it is not so much about like this big... I'm doing a lot of blush, I'm feeling like it. It's not this big, like, super advanced magic system that everything relies on. It's more like it's this kingdom that we, of course, is not in this world, that have these like fantastical creatures, and the main character, literally, she is confused. She knows nothing. She has been brought up very sheltered. Nobody really cares about her, if I'm gonna be totally honest. Let me do some of this highlighter. It is the one in Starfire Gold. It's the one that's like white. Let's see how this works out. But she's like the spare daughter. Her sister is getting to be married off to another kingdom. Nobody really cares about this spare daughter. Nobody's teaching her anything. Nobody cares about her. Nobody knows if she's educated or well-trained or if she has any skills, because it doesn't matter. She is not the one to be married off. Nobody cares about her. At a turn of events, in the very first chapters in the book, she ends up being the one getting married away, and she is just so clueless. Like, she knows nothing about the world. There are several times in the book where she's just like, I am the worst spy in the world. And I like books when the main character is not too overpowered. Oh, I definitely have some kind of specks in there. When she's just confused, she's trying to learn, and quite honestly, she's not very good at it. She's not very trained in social skills. She doesn't know anything about the kingdom, and which means that the world building where she is very heavy, but not the whole kingdom, because she doesn't know anything about that. And I kind of think that that's just really refreshing. And I like that we have this kind of like girl that's just in a way very naive, but she doesn't want to be, but she can't help to be because nobody's prepared her for anything. Such a great book. There are some very expected twists, and then there are some very unexpected ones. And I gotta say, I love the banter. I love the dialogue that she is having. I love the side characters a lot. And overall, I just thought it was just a really entertaining book. I gave it a 5-star. You should definitely check it out. That's not what this video is about, but here we are. I'm having a Coke. I have also really been enjoying, I have them here, the lip pencils by Nomad Cosmetics. I talked about these a while ago. Let me do the one that's like the peach, toasty peach. Let me do this one again, and I'm gonna show you a new product that I literally fished out from my purse because I've really been enjoying that one, and I want to tell you about it. I really like these. I think it's really good. But what I like even more is this new lip balm, the Glass Balm by Glow Recipe. I've been using the one that's the strawberry one, I think. Yeah, strawberry bingsu, which is the red one. I really like this. I used this the first time I got it. Like, I got it in PR. I put it on, and I immediately put it in my purse. I just think it's beautiful. It's not too thick. It feels very balmy on the lip. It stays on the lips for a while, and I do feel like it helps nourish my lips. It has this, not really a scent of any kind. There's a small hint of something sweet. There's not really a scent. It smells very nice of strawberry. I love the color. It's this like sheer thing. Gotta say, my face is looking really nice. I like that. Okay, let's get in. I'm like, is that the last one? Yeah, let's get into the palette. I want to talk about the palette too. I showed you what it looks like a little bit, and I showed you some swatches. What do we want to do? Can I just say, I actually think that this is really new and refreshing for being Glamlite. It's got a mix of cool tones and warm tones. It's got a mix of neutrals and colors. There's a lot of light matte tones, which we usually don't see in Glamlite palettes. I'm actually really impressed with this one. I think it looks beautiful. I want to talk about some of the names. I kind of want to do, I think I'm going to start with Samwise, this one, and then we're going to use this one, Boromir. We're going to use that to deepen it up. But first I need some eye primer. Then we'll do that. Overall, like I said, I think that this palette has a really good color story. Even though I prefer like warm, yummy palettes, I still can recognize that this is a very, for Glamlite, a very unique color story, and I think they did really good. I also really like what they named the colors. Like Gandalf is a gray, Aragorn is a gray, Sauron, of course, is a black, but most of the shades are characters. And I kind of, in a way, wish that they would have made all the shades characters, because there are some, like Evenstar, for example. There's an Even Star, there is the Shire, there is Rivendell, but I kind of wish that they would have made all the shades characters instead, because there are some characters like, I mean, Sauron is in here, but Sauroman is not, and I'm just like, maybe we could have made Sauron the white one instead, and you could have moved Galadriel to the pastel-y purple. That would have worked. There are just some shades here where I'm like, I would have preferred if it was all characters. But I do like that they took in some of the bad characters, like Gollum and Sauron is in here, and gave them appropriate colors. I think overall, none of the colors are like, why did they make that one that color? Like Gandalf is a gray and Sauron is a black. Like, it kind of makes sense. I do think that overall they made good choices with the colors for the different characters. I haven't watched, I've only read the books once. Listen, once is enough, okay? Once is enough. There are some scenes that have stuck with me. You know, there are scenes in books that have stuck with you your entire life. One of the scenes is when they climb the mountain to get it. They follow Gollum to climb the mountain to get into Mordor. That scene where he is like sitting and watching the army like Bilbo, that scene stuck with me. Also the scene when they are in the swamps and he falls in, that I think about like a lot. I also like one of the best scenes, and a scene that I always think about when people are like, what scene stuck with you from a book? It's the scene when they're in Moria and they get hunted and they hear the drums. Oh my god, I was not okay after reading that in the book, okay? The Moria scenes, ooh, I could see myself reading that passage from the book again, because that is one of the like most exciting, thrilling, fantasy-like passages in a book ever. I'm just like, oh, there are some scenes that just stick with you. And yeah, that one is definitely it. But overall, the books are they're very like epic fantasy. They're kind of slow, if I'm gonna be honest. And I don't see myself like wanting to reread the entire... Some people reread stories, and I can see myself rereading a couple stories. I've even been feeling like there are some stories I want to reread. I want to reread Champion by Marie Lu. I've been really wanting to reread that because I love that. When the whole dystopian thing was going on, you know, with the Hunger Games and everything, Hunger Games is the best one. But after that, the books that Marie Lu did, so this is Boromir, is definitely the second best. I loved that series. It was so good. I could see myself rereading that. But yeah, I don't think I could see myself rereading the entire Lord of the Rings. I haven't seen the movies in a really long time, though, I will say. It's been a while since I saw it. I feel like I haven't seen The Return of the King in a long time, I should say. The others I feel like I saw not too long ago. I don't know why I didn't see The Return of the King again. Maybe that's the one I need to re-see. Have you seen the series, the what is it called? The one about the making of the ring. I don't even know what it's called. It's on Amazon. Such a beautiful series. I like that it's giving the same energy as the books. Beautiful, slow, and just taking its time to just describe everything and get the right ambience. I'm kind of liking that about the series. I think it's beautiful. I hope they're continuing it. They are, right? I'm really enjoying it. Okay, let me blend this out. And let's see if we can do some of that dark green shimmer. It's called Frodo. Although I don't know where I want to put in here. I might do Merry, which is that like pastel. This one. I might do that one and just keep the whole look a little greenish. the most effortless blend I've seen in my entire life, but good enough for me today. So this is the color Mary, and I think I'm just gonna put that. Oh, why am I so... I'm sorry, I don't know if I've changed the settings on my chair or something. I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna put this in the inner part to brighten this up. That is looking really nice, don't you think? I am enjoying that. We'll do both of those two green shimmers. Okay, so what I mean about the two green ones, I'm gonna use Frodo and I'm gonna use the Shire. The Shire. I have a good feeling about this. The blend is a little choppy here, like I can see it. I've got eyes. But we will figure that out. I say now. Maybe we won't. Maybe this is when I figure out that I won't figure it out. Hello? Maybe this is when I realize there will be no figuring out. That's cute. These shadows seem a little smushy. I will say, I don't have... I've talked about this before, that I get problems with creasing with some smushy shadows. Actually, not the Glamlite ones. I think it is like whatever is binding the shadows, what is making them smushy. Because I feel like in some of those more emollient shadows, it's just something that is like a little bit more, I don't know, oily, or just something that doesn't stay. Because like the Super Shock shadows by Colourpop also do not crease on me. And they're also like a little putty, like squishy. But I just think it is like whatever agent or binder that is making them a little, I was gonna say smutty. Putty. I've been reading too much. I feel like it's different. They're not all created equal, and some of them make me crease and some of them don't. I'm covering up some of that like rough blending with the shimmer shadow. See? Problem gone. Now I'm gonna do Frodo, and I'm not gonna spray this. Maybe I will. Never mind. I will spray this because sometimes it's hard to get a shimmer shadow to stick on a matte. Ooh, this would be such a nice like smoky eye, like all over shade, this dark shadow. Oh, I'm actually really liking that. Okay. Let me finish this look up. I'm gonna be using the new mascara from e.l.f. that I've been using. I used this in the recent video and I'm really enjoying it. Like, I think it's great. I think I will be traveling with it. Let me put on a little bit more of the balm. I'm really liking how this turned out. It's like dark outside now, but isn't this like so cute? Are you like even on the background? But I think that this turned out so cute. I also wanted to use a little bit of... Fragrance makes me very happy. And whenever I'm feeling a little, you know, not the best. And I will say, I've been dwelling a lot on these past couple of weeks. And every time I like stop and sit and think, I just, you know, you find yourself in this like, just pit of sorrow, honestly. But fragrances make me happy. And today, I want to smell like candy, which I don't always want to. But this one is the Ellis Brooklyn Lychee Milkshake. And this one, it says it has like sparkling cassis, lychee milkshake, and sugar. I think this smells just like Swedish raspberry jelly candy. It smells like julihallon or hallonbåtar. It just smells it smells almost like raspberry jelly candy. And I just want to be raspberry candy Angie for the rest of the evening. I don't want to be like a Debbie Downer and come here and talk about all the ways that I'm feeling sad, but whenever I don't feel the best, and when I'm like still like going through it and like categorizing it in my brain and just trying to make sense of all of the thoughts and all the feelings, sitting down and doing my makeup helps me a lot. And I gotta say, I'm very impressed with this. I already knew that I loved this. It's been in my purse for almost a week. I already knew that I really enjoyed this. I think you can see, I mean, it dried down. I used a little bit of powder just over my face, but I didn't like powder a lot. But it does like dry down with a little bit of powder, and it doesn't feel like greasy or sticky. It is somewhat transfer proof, and I feel like it gives a nice like light coverage on the skin. For me, this holds up pretty good on my skin. I've been wearing this. This is the 3rd day in a row that I'm wearing it, and I really do enjoy it. I think it's a really nice one. So I did know that I liked those. I did swatch the Makeup Forever crayons when I was in store, and I was very impressed with them. These weren't the colors that I picked out for myself, but I do like these. So I actually might end up picking up the colors that I did pick for myself. Maybe I won't do the blush, because I do feel like the blush that I got is definitely a blush that actually looks really pretty, but I think I'm gonna pick up the highlighter and the bronzer shade that I picked up for myself. The lip liners I already knew I really liked, and then of course we have the drop something. Of course we have the palette. I'm actually really impressed with this palette. I think the quality is really nice. I think the color story is really nice, and I think the naming is really nice, and I like this packaging. I liked that this palette is not the typical color story that they do. It's not the typical format that they do. It's not the typical like lenticular motion. This just feels very high end, and it's also like extremely recognizable what they are collabing with. Me and Ricardo had a couple of friends over. It was just 3 different guys, and I opened this palette when they were here 2 days ago, and all of them were like, oh, is that Lord of the Rings? Like, it was so easily like recognizable, and they were very impressed as well about like how professional it all looked. So I will say, palette looks really good. I didn't buy anything else from the collection because there was nothing else that I really wanted from the collection, but if you were thinking about it, I gotta say the palette looks beautiful, and I'm very impressed. I do have a code with Glamlite. I probably popped it up in the beginning. You can use my code Angelica on the website, and you'll get 15% off, I think. I do think I got all of these things in PR. Well, I bought the palette myself, and the Nomad Cosmetics lip liners I bought myself, and as the e.l.f. mascara as well. But I will put everything down below in the description box. I hope you're having a great day. I was just trying to feel a little better, and I hope you are doing better today than I was the day that I was filming this. But I will see you soon in a new video. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you then.